Hey guys, we're back with another episode of the Indievets podcast.
You didn't think we'd be back, did you?
We didn't think we'd be back actually.
Anyway, hi, I'm Makayla.
And I'm Harsh.
And you're listening to the second episode of Whispers of the Whiskers.
Whispers of the Whiskers is brought to you by Indievets. Indievets is a student-run NGO. We work under In Defense of Animals Devnath, and we focus on rescuing, treating, and trying to get animals adopted all across the streets of Mumbai.
Did you know that each year millions of dogs and cats get rescued, but only a fraction of these get a home? So today we're going to be talking about adoption. We're going to go behind the scenes from getting the animals rescued from the streets
and finding them a comfy, cozy bed under their little feet. Today's topic is titled Pawdopt, where compassion meets courage. And who better to speak about this topic than, drumroll please,
Mrs.Nandita Saigal ma'am and Nikunj Sule. They have done together as a team, they have done over 400 adoptions per year. That is more than one a day, which is.
So, hi ma'am, this is your first podcast,
Hi.
I believe.
Yes.
How are you feeling today? How is everything going on?
Normal.
That's good to know, actually. What about you, Nikunj? How are you feeling?
Oh my
Lovely.
god. So we know this, but our viewers might not know this. So let's just start to get to know each other. So we were told that you had a German Shepherd growing up. So now I want to know if that is where your love for animal began, or was there some things at some point of your life which made you choose this path that you're walking on?
Well, yes, there was a German Shepherd. I've always been very fond of animals. My father did get a female German Shepherd. Unfortunately, she was stolen from the house. We lived in a bungalow, and somebody came and stole her. Weeks later, she found her way back, and we were all in the garden, and she came back, and unfortunately, because she had been ill-kept, undernourished, not fed, she passed away. But that did make a lasting impression on me. And of course, my parents kept talking about it. And when I joined school, there were two little puppies. I was the youngest in school. And there were two little puppies, Cocker Spaniel puppies, that had been at that time they were bought because people didn't understand the concept of adoption. But they came in at the same time, and we were three musketeers. And now Pawdopt is the three musketeers.
Life is one big circle.
Absolutely.
So, was there any time in your life where your goals were different and Pawdopt was not the future you saw for yourself?
Well, as a youngster, all I ever dreamed of was either to become a mother or a doctor. I never did become a biological mother, but I'm mother to so many two-legged and four-legged. And I think it is nurturing, taking care of them, that matters far, far, far more than just giving birth.
Yes.
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to be was a doctor. I don't think I had the brains. But yes, I do pick up a lot about medicine, whether it's for the humans or for the animals. And that's because I have this interest.
You say that you become neither a mother nor a doctor, but I would say the amount of love and care you put in is equivalent to that of a mother and of a doctor.
You healed enough furry hearts to count as both a mother and a doctor.
And I do consider myself as the grandmother of animal welfare, where everybody
You are.
you don't have to addresses me as Nandita auntie.
Everyone knows you.
No, I don't think everyone knows me. I'm a very small fry.
There's random connections in my life, random doctors I know who just know, oh yeah, Nandita man, oh yeah, Nandita auntie.
Oh yeah, the last time we had a conversation, we were like, oh yeah, that, and she was just like, oh yeah, him. Let me tell you a little bit something.
So, okay. We know right now Pawdopt has a WhatsApp group. You have a whole team of rescuers who are working together for this amazing mission. But tell us how Pawdopt started. What were the first steps of Pawdopt?
I'll tell you. Years ago, um, there were three individuals in different parts of animal welfare, not connected with each other at all. Nikunj Sule, the baby of our team, Riya Chhabria Sablok. I think she's the backbone of the team. Oh. And Nandita Saigal, who's a crazy old woman who just does her own thing. But all three of us passionate about animals, yet we didn't meet. And then one fine day, these two chow chows came up.
Hmm.
And somehow all three of us got connected to that particular adoption. Ria adopted the chow chow, and then the second sibling as well.
Nice.
And that's when we met more often. Hey, listen, we think alike. We're absolutely alike. And at the same time, I was wondering, hey, what happens when I move on? What will happen? Who will take over? We needed to make a team. And that's where Team Pawdopt is founded. The baby, the backbone and heart, and the craziness. That's the way it was.
That's amazing. So you can, Nikunj, actually, you can tell us about how Pawdopt is right now.
So basically, whenever we find a dog, we pick it up. There is no no to it. And one person has to agree from the team and we just pick up the dog and there's never no from it.
Yes.
So we three found ourselves very overwhelming by the number of dogs we were getting and then managing their medicals, managing their fosters, making sure they're fit to be adopted. And that's when we found out that we need more people in our group. That's where we founded Friends of Pawdopt, which is basically a group of people who volunteer in helping us from anything, from helping us to raise funds, to helping us with the foster, they may home foster, they may fund the foster, to helping us to transport the animal for medicals. So that's how from three of us we became a huge family where there are so many people who just help us through our process and we have a little less stress on ourselves basically.
And these are people from all walks of life and
All walks.
all just connected, trying
All
to
just
get.
connected because they've either connected with us at some point of time, or we've helped them at some point of time, or they know of the work we do. And that's about all, basically.
Everyone with a
And-
common goal. In mind.
Exact. And they all are animal lovers. Basically, that is the common line that's running through the whole thing is that they all love animals.
And be it any time, like the group may be active at 1 o'clock, there's a dog which had an accident and like there are people from the group who are like running to find a vet, running to pick up the dog.
Oh
So
my
it's
God.
24 hours. It's not just that it's going on in the morning.
Wow. Speaking of the work that Pawdopt does, on my little research venture that I went on, I found out that you guys held a COVID feeding camp all throughout
It
India.
wasn't a camp. It wasn't a camp at all. It was basically providing food because there were no food outlets open. So we were picking up dry food, which honestly speaking, I'm not very much in favor of. But dire times call for dire measures, to be taken. So we were picking up dry food and giving them to the feeders so that the animals could be fed, whether it was dogs, cats, anybody. Also, we were encouraging people, I was doing it myself, to cook chicken broth or something so that can be added to the dry kibble and given to the animals.
Right.
And some kind of nutrition was going in. And that's why most of the animals survived and did well during COVID. I think they did better than humans.
Could you mention all the places you all held the little feeding?
So we helped people in Bandra, feeders in Bandra, both west and east, around this area, Shivaji Park and Dadar, and anybody who approached us. Basically.
Yeah.
Anybody who approached us, we would procure the food and we would.
That's really nice because whenever people think about COVID, it was lockdown. I don't think anyone was going out feeding anyone, any animals, sorry.
Oh, without
Unless,
feeding.
yeah, except for
We
you
weren't doing
guys.
it like. See, one thing we don't believe in,
Hmm.
and that is name and fame.
Yeah.
We don't do it for name and fame. So when we found that there was okay, nobody around to unhelp to feed it. That kind of. So that's how it was.
It's
done.
like a little secretive.
Yeah.
I think it would also be very hard to sustain yourself if it was only for name and fame, especially in this.
I don't know. In today's times, everything is for name and fame.
Hmm.
People put up reels stolen from somewhere else and put up as their work on social media. I mean, come on, if you have so much of time to do all that, why don't you just take care of
Do
the
the
animals?
actual work.
Yeah.
So, speaking of recognition and fame, Pawdopt received an award recently. So, could you tell us more about that?
Nikunj will tell you more about that.
Nikunj will tell us
For
more
the
about
simple
it.
reason that both Riya and Nikunj
Hmm.
are the future. I am the past.
Not yet.
Okay, I may be the present and the past, but yes, you have to hand over the reins to somebody. You can't be sitting on the seat all the time. And so let him talk about the award.
Go
So
on.
basically, it was quite a shock to us also because, as Auntie said, we do not look out for any fame or so. But randomly, we got a message that we have been nominated for an award, and we were not prepared to win it. We were just like, let's go and see, and we got an award of the best caregiver in the country,
Kindness for
basically,
kindness and
and
compassion.
compassion at the Kindness Project.
Nice.
Nice.
And later on, we did
Hmm.
come to know that the Kindness Project is also linked to the UN.
Oh,
I
wow.
didn't know about that, but I read about it and I said, oh, excuse me, now that's something.
So you skipped from no name and fame to like directly to the UN.
So, yeah, we were grateful to them, very, very grateful. But that's not what we
Yeah.
aim to do. What we need to do is the kindness and compassion part. That's what it is.
But I believe it would be nice every now and then to get recognized and appreciated for the work that you guys put in.
The appreciation we get is from people we give animals to. And when they come back 10, 12 years later and say, ma'am, we lost him or her, but we only adopt him. That really is the appreciation.
That's more than any award you get.
And seeing the animals happy, like seeing that dog headless, malnourished on the road, and then seeing him in a family where he has a reels of toys, people running behind him, taking care of him.
As he
That's
should.
the-
Okay, now we loved how far Pawdopt has come from just you running this place to you finding your people and then finding another whole web of people. So let's start this podcast. So the first segment would just be understanding adoption. Now, our experience with adoption is like a kitten or a puppy here and there, and it's like very vague. We don't have a web of people. So, how does it look professionally? What are the steps? Take us through the process.
So basically, adoption isn't easy.
Yeah. Oh, it is
It's
not.
Adoption isn't easy at all. And it isn't picking up an animal and putting it in some home. No, it
Yeah.
isn't that. The animal needs to be understood. Adoption means when you know what are the needs of the animal and you know a family that is able to provide those needs and take care of those needs. Finding that balance isn't easy. The checks we go through are very stringent, very, very stringent. And that is why we have, more often than not, a 99% success rate. I will not say 100% because every once in a while something happens which is beyond your control, which is not about giving the animal to a good family. It is not about the animal not fitting into that particular family. It is not about the family not being able to take care of it. It's about many other factors. In that, way or in those conditions, all we tell them, do not abandon the animal. Reach back to us.
Yeah.
Because in all our adoption forms, there is one line. In the lifetime of the animal, the guardian will remain Nandita Saigal. So, you return the animal to the guardian. That's the way it is.
That was actually our next question about, have there been any cases where the family, after adopting the animal, has abandoned them? But
No.
after what you said, yeah.
No
Where they
family
give
has
them back to you.
abandoned them. Yes, there have been a case or two where we've had to take back the animal. I'm not going to go into why.
Yeah.
There are a lot of personal reasons. But I'm grateful that they reached out to us and gave the animal back to us.
Yeah.
And luckily, the animal got an even better home.
Good for the animal.
Maybe that's karma.
Yeah. How long would you say this entire process from rescuing, fostering, treatment if needed, to finding a home, to making sure that there's positive feedback?
Sometimes over a year.
Oh.
Sometimes over a year. And sometimes it's, hey, we've already found a home. How come? It's like, how did we do it? What's going wrong? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
But more often than not, the animals we find are ill in some way. And we need time. We need time to build them up. And the most important thing is time for them to be ready to be sterilized. So all adult animals are only given to a home after they're sterilized.
Right.
I don't trust humans. I'm sorry to say that. But, she's dying to be a mother. No, she isn't.
You never know when the animal is going to be used in forceful breeding or anything.
Yeah. So no, that it doesn't work that way for us. And like Nikunj will tell you, all our animals, adult animals, are sterilized and given. So honestly, if the person closest to me came to me and said, I want an unsterilized animal, I'd say, go look elsewhere. Not from me.
So we heard, as I mentioned before, that you are the magic behind getting 400 animals adopted per year. And so I wanted to ask, is there any time where the number of cases increase?
So yes, number of cases do increase. Every time there is a festival, we find more animals on the road. And we have proper protocol. Every animal that is found on the road, we make sure that we inform the local police station. And we do not get it adopted for 15 days, waiting for somebody to come forward and say, hey, this animal is mine. If it isn't claimed in 15 days, we then start looking for homes. Obviously, it's never just 15 days because we find the animals in not a very good state. We have to get the medicals done, sterilizing, look for families where they just fit in. All that takes a long time.
Yeah.
But very rarely have we come across somebody who says, hey, this dog is mine. Nikunj has. Yes, the railway police is already found. So they did come and claim it within 24 hours. Within 20.
So it's very rare.
Very.
Close to zero.
Yeah. Diwali, Ganpati, Dasera. Humans are enjoying. Animals are.
Why do you think there's during these festivals people abandon more animals?
Since you assume that since people are home during this time of the festival, they want to be closer with their pets.
But there's all that puja and this one is female is she's on her periods. I can't have her in the future.
Yeah.
Or some silly superstition that gets me so riled up. I mean, would you throw your daughter out of the house? You wouldn't. So why are you doing it to your pet? But that's the way it is. And oh, I'm going on a vacation. I don't want to spend on foster care. So what do? Go to the nearest tree and tie the dog there.
Mm.
Because dogs today are a status symbol.
Mm.
They're no longer a family member. And the few people, as stupid as us, who believe that they're family members, are few and far between.
Yeah.
And that's why it takes us so long to find those few and far between.
Other thing, what we mainly see in a trend, what the way you're asking is, we see a lot of impulse buying. But in that also, we see that sometimes it's just raining labs. Sometimes it's just raining beagles.
Wow.
So there are those phases when we have like 20 of the same breed in our foster.
Okay.
So that's another trend where randomly my friend has a beagle, I want a beagle, people get a beagle and they abandon it. So that's very common that we see different breeds coming up throughout the year.
Also, like if a dog or a cat goes viral on Instagram, everyone wants that type of
The
animal.
Vodafone dog. You remember the Vodafone dog, the pug?
Yeah, yeah.
So everybody, the uncle, the aunts, cousins, in-laws, everybody was buying a pug.
Oh. But pugs, they don't know what pugs come with.
Pugs need a lot of care.
Pugs
All
have
these
problems.
smug-faced animals need much more care than the others.
The P in pug stands for problems.
Yeah. So it's not as if people understand that.
And I don't think they're willing to do the research before
Not at all.
getting
Not
their
at
dog
all.
either.
They don't. So when we give a dog in adoption, we make it very clear. We explain to them what the breed is all about.
Yeah.
We had a beagle that was with us for 3 months, absolutely healthy, sterilized, everything, but wasn't getting a home. And then one couple came across and said, we'll take him home. I said, okay, we'll take him home. Good. Tell me about your lifestyle. I said, you have no time for him.
Yeah.
He'll become destructive. He won't get enough exercise. So he'll become snappy. I'm sorry, I can't give him.
On that note, a lot of people get working dogs without knowing that they're working dogs.
Exactly.
And then they make them stay in like a small one room, and then they are like,
So we have something that before we even speak to a doctor, we have a form that is to be filled in called the pre-adoption. People take offense to it because we ask them what kind of work they do.
Yeah.
We ask them, do they live in an apartment, bungalow, or what? How big is the residence? They take objection to that. But why should they? I will only give you a dog that will fit into that 20 square feet.
Yeah.
I will not give you a dog that needs more space.
This is like how there's like 2 huskies living next to college in a very tiny apartment. And
first
they
of
get,
all, I think that
it's so
huskies
bad.
should not exist.
Huskies should
In
not
Mumbai,
be in this
yeah.
climate.
Yeah.
So we've rescued a whole lot of huskies in St. Bernard and I've sent them up to Uttarakhand.
Nice.
And they're so happy there because that's their.
I would love to be in Uttarakhand as well.
I was talking about you right now.
But yeah, so they're very happy. It's not easy to find homes up in the hills.
Okay.
And then if you find homes, you don't find beds. Then what do you do? So we have to keep that balance. It has to be given to a place where there is veterinary care. I've given one St. Bernard up to Palanpur.
Oh.
Because, for a veterinary college. So, it's safe.
So, coming back to our questions, what is your opinion on giving pets as gifts?
Never. I'm sorry, I'm sounding a little aggressive.
Oh no, that's what we believe as well. It's all right.
Never. You can't gift a life. Even doctors can bring life into it. And on what basis are you gifting? The person has to want. And if they don't want, how can you just put something like that? That's how we get a lot of our
Abandoned cases.
of people wanting to give up. I was gifted by my friends, but my mother says, dare you bring it inside the house. So there are cases like that.
So there's not a lot of thought that goes behind it. It's just
I
like,
would say zero.
No thought at all.
no, but I would say like all these markets where people can buy breeds for cheap. Do you
Thank
Proper
you very
market.
much for
Proper
bringing up
market.
this topic.
Yes.
Because that's where our government fails. I'm not talking about any one government. It's the government down the years. They've all failed. I don't know whether their pockets are being filled or what it is. But all of them have failed. There is no licensed pet shops.
Not a single one.
There are some, but how many people go to them?
Yeah.
It's all backyard breeding and people, it's crazy because there's no law.
I always tend to say that vegetable vendors would feed their vegetables better than a dog which is for a sale, a puppy for a sale.
Exactly, I agree with you.
Because we have a lot of cases in the OPD and they're like very young, 1 month, 2 month old, and they all have some vital problems. And like, kidhar se liya? Crawford markets se liya. But like, they keep going back as well, even though they
Because
know.
they get them cheaper.
Yeah.
They get them cheaper. There are some good breeders. But then they demand their
They
price.
charge the right price. Yeah.
Right. So, okay, ye to mil rahe. It's like, okay, I'm getting it inexpensive. Like, why does I pick this one?
We are moving on into our next segment, which is let's talk about money. So we personally know how expensive adoption can get with fostering, the treatment, and then the stay. Just over time, it just builds up, and you don't even realize that it's building up. So how do you guys deal with your
So
finances?
first and foremost, Team Pawdopt is not a registered NGO. We are just a group of like-minded people who've dedicated our lives to animal service. And we've been putting in our own funds to do all this. And then, of course, there have been friends and well-wishers, people who've adopted from us. Hey, how are you making two ends meet? And we tell them we haven't. I'm sorry, but we aren't. And then they say, yeah, how can we help? And I'm grateful to each and every one of them. We do not take a penny. Team Pawdopt does not take one naya paisa. What we tell them is, hey, you can clear our fostering bill, you are part of it, however much. There is no fix that you have to do this. You can clear our vets bills, our transportation. If you do that, that's a big load off our shoulders. And I'm really grateful to all those people who even, we are bad at asking. Yeah, honestly, we're very, very bad at asking. But even without asking, they just reach out and say, okay, what bills need to be cleared now?
But I'm sure it wasn't easy always to find people.
Even
like
now it isn't easy. There's a lot of talk and very little giving. But those people who give from their hearts and they give consistently. These are our tribe, is the way I put it.
to the people of the brain rot generation, this is her Roman Empire, she says.
Getting back on topic. So there's a lot of times when people pick up healthy puppies, healthy kittens off the road. Healthy puppies and kittens who have a mother nursing them already, who are getting fed, and they put them into the adoption process.
These are illogical, stupid, idiotic people who honestly don't have brains. Any animal with its mother on the road is well taken.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to help? Feed the mother, vaccinate, do all the medical.
Yeah.
Sterilize the mother post 2 months. That way you can. Nikunj will tell you the rest.
So usually we do get 1 or 2 calls every day where there is a puppy with a mother and people are like, take it away, things are safe for home. Firstly, I feel they have something which they just want to show compassion but don't want to do anything by their part.
Right.
Because they just want us to pick up the dog, but when we try to explain them that the puppy is safe over there, you can vaccinate the puppy, sterilize the mother, look after their feeding, they usually hung up or they're like, oh, you are not doing your work. But there are more animals which need. There are abandoned dogs, there are puppies which are motherless. Those are the ones who really need a care and a home and a medical checkup and all that. So people need to be aware that a puppy or a kitten or for that matter any animal with its mother is the most safest because the mothers who look after. Yes, you need to intervene by taking care of their medicals and their feeding.
The nutrition should be taken care of.
But they are the safest over there, so they don't need to be picked up or relocated. And even our law says that. It's not just that we are saying it, but even the law says that relocation is a crime.
Yeah, the little law that we have. Yes.
Now we know that you work very closely with Thane CPCA. And now, what would you say are the daily struggles that you all go through at like an NGO or a shelter level?
So Thane CPCA is one of the few very, very well-run hospitals. And it's a small place, but doing tremendous amount of work. So when we rescue an animal, we first send it to Thane CPCA for the medical checkup. If the dog is good enough to not need hospitalization, we move it to a paid foster. Because at the hospital, there's so many sicker animals, for lack of any other phrase. There's so many sicker animals that, hey, this dog or this cat may pick up something else with the lower immunity they have. And they are working, constantly taking care of the animals. So we, Pawdopt are the ancillary adoption wing of Thane CPCA. So very often people come and they tie up animals outside the hospital, and then we need to get them homes.
What about fosters? I know it must be hard finding good fosters as well.
Absolutely, we've rejected so many. We've rejected so many because money is not the criteria. I will pay top dollar if I'm getting the kind of care my babies deserve and need. I don't care about the money. But I will not let my baby stay in a place that is not taking care of them. I'll crucify them. Honest to God, I will.
So, how many do you think fosters are actually doing it for love as compared to just a side hustle for more money to come
Can
in?
I count them on my fingers? That's how many they. Most of them do it for money. Most of them. And that's very, very sad.
So Pawdopt has been working, Pawdopt or just you actually, have been working for more than 40 years in this field.
No, I have been working with that. It was not Pawdopt at that.
Exactly, yeah.
But you've been in this
In this
circle.
I've
circle
been
for
in
the
this,
past 40
for
years.
on and off. I don't know how many years. I've forgotten. I've forgotten.
So what have the trends been like in
I'll
these
tell you
40
the
years?
person who got me into doing it systematically.
Okay.
Two people. Gudisha Vedya and Dr. Sangeeta Vansal.
Oh.
They said, hey, listen, you have the gift. Do it in a proper manner. And there has been a change in trends. Earlier, it was, I want a dog, but I want a dog that will fit into my family, will be happy to work alongside me on the farm, that kind of thing. Today, I want an Akita.
We get those.
I want a Chow Chow. Maybe a Yorkshire Terrier.
Anything fancy.
Yeah.
Really.
Anything that's exotic.
Yeah.
Does that take away from what the dog gives you? Dog can be a mongrel. Will love you just as much. But that's how the trend has changed.
It's become more about what
Status
name the
symbol.
breed is
Yes.
rather than what
A
the animal
status.
is.
Now, where we even get calls where people are asking for fancy breeds, and we explain them that we are doing adoptions, we are not breeders. We are not selling dogs that you tell me I want a cockapoo and we will have a cockapoo puppy. And they're very choosy. Like, I want a brown color cockapoo, it's a male, it should be 2 months old. So
It's
that
like
choosy
ordering
to
from
do.
Amazon.
Exactly. I want a King Charles Spaniel. I said, where did you see one? Oh, my children have seen it on the net. I said, tell them to go and play with it. I mean, I can be very, very sarcastic. Because they turn around and say, but why can't you get? I said, I'm not a breeder. I don't buy and sell animals. So don't expect me to get you. I rescue them. I wish you would understand the meaning of rescue.
Also, I know we're only talking about dogs, but Pawdopt also does adoptions of cats and
Cats, rabbits, horses, hamsters, cows,
Cows.
donkeys. We have done.
Yes, and donkeys.
We have sent donkeys.
Turtles.
oh,
Yeah. And rescuing is of any animal, bird or animal.
What have the trends been like in animals then? Like, other than dogs and cats?
People want
Have
all the
it?
exotics. They want the Star Wars toys.
Yeah.
And I immediately tell them, I'm sorry, I'm not going to break the law.
Hmm.
So much so that there have been times when I have come to know that there's a Star Wars toy somewhere, and I've reported it. Because it's our wildlife.
Hmm.
Why
yeah, people are confusing pet animals and wild animals,
Exactly.
and they don't realize that that is what is going on. And when you tell them, they're like, "Oh,
But मैं तो इतनी अच्छी तरह से रखता
मैं इतने साल से रख रहा हूँ
Yeah.
कुछ नहीं
ठीक
हुआ
था अभी I don't know अचानक क्या हो गया."
Yeah.
So now that you've mentioned all these exotics and stuff, so we live in a time where not only indies are getting abandoned, but you're also finding all these things that people are paying top dollar for on the road.
Yes.
Why do you think? What do you think is the reason for it?
So I'll tell you, things like a chow chow.
Hmm.
Okay? People will buy one. They don't know what the nature of the chow chow is. They don't know how to handle the dog. The dog gets aggressive. The dog gets aggressive, leave it on the road.
Or the dog doesn't fit into the family environment and they just leave.
Not only the family environment does not fit into their concept of what a pet should be. Who's given them the authority? They want the dog to fit into the box that they have made.
Hmm.
Dog has his own personality.
Yeah.
Why should it?
I think people don't realize that these guys have a lot of personality to them and they expect them to just be, oh, it's a pet. You just
He's supposed to listen to you. Excuse me, is he a slave?
No, but then if you think about it, the stereotype on dogs is that, oh, loyal, caring, only exists for you, has no life of its
Yeah.
own. But that is also
only
something.
exists to give you love and you give love back. That's it.
That's what
You
we
give
did.
food and some 2 taps on the
But
head,
it
and
isn't like that.
it isn't
Exactly.
like that.
It is a life that's come into your life.
Yeah.
You need to treat the animal the way you would another life. A child, a parent, a sibling. That's how you need to treat them. You can't treat them like, okay, when I have the time, I'll say, hi, how are you? Oh, my baby. It's not like
That's what we even do when it comes to adoptions. That whenever we have a dog, we do prepare the family about the dog, that what his needs are basically. Because as Auntie said, they're very into the box, so we need to prepare them. But very simple things like the dog has been in a boarding, he may not be completely pee and potty trained. So we need to tell the family that, oh, you need to work on that. That's another thing what we do a lot while adoptions are concerned, basically, that preparing the family for that specific dog and his needs.
Okay, Nikunj is also a qualified behaviorist.
We did not know
We did not know
that.
this.
So what we do is, if it isn't too far away, Nikunj does make a visit or two to help the dog settle. Or we have other behaviorists tied up with us who also do.
It's nice.
And then it's up to the pet parent whether they want to continue with that behaviorist for some time or not. It's totally their call.
Now, with different people and the different wants of theirs, this recent trend of adopting breeds, has it affected the adoption of indies?
Indies have never really been easily adopted. But having said that, I find the poorer segment, I wouldn't say poorer segment, sorry, I'm using the wrong word. The farmer segment, they are very, very open to indies and mixed breeds. Because over the years they've realized that these are the breeds that are tough. The pure breeds in those surroundings tend to fall.
Is it also how they aren't looking for the animal for the status symbol aspect of
Absolutely,
it, but more for the
absolutely.
companionship?
So I feel adoptions in rural places are far more genuine and open-hearted.
Because I think they want, rather than the aesthetic, they want like the working, what can you bring to the table, so they understand them a little bit better.
Exactly, and they take. There was one particular person. He's a coconut seller, one of the biggest in Pune, and I gave him a mixed lab. Mixed lab was, I don't know, he had some issues. Definitely had some mental issues. Bipolar, maybe, if there is bipolar in animals. But you know, he would
You
be.
just pointed yourself.
So it was, if he was good, he was very, very good. And if he was bad, he was horrid. But somehow, his horridness stayed out of the door. The minute he was in the family home, the old grandmother would take a thali and feed Prince, Prince, and he would eat. He would eat. And he never bit anybody in the family. Never. But should a stranger come in, unannounced, then
What?
But that's his territory. You can't blame him.
exactly. But very few people understand. Arey, kutta hai, kaatta hai.
I have so many friends like this. So, for the abandoning of breeds, which we just talked about, and how it's increasing, what solutions are there to this, or to the abandonment problem in general?
So basically, I've been fighting for this for a very, very long time. That every animal should be microchipped. Okay? Should we lose the animal? At least when it's found by anybody. It can be read, the microchip can be read and we know where it's found. Also, if it's abandoned, then who has abandoned the dog? And make sure that person is blacklisted, never gets a dog.
And you can hold them accountable.
And you hold them accountable. You file a case against them. Those things don't happen in our country.
It's too idealistic.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's laws, but I don't think.
Are there any laws? There aren't any laws.
On abandonment, like there's no.
They may say you have to give food and water to your dog. You have to do. How?
The
50
bare
rupees.
minimum.
Yeah.
Is that what they charge you? 50 rupees for a life.
We recently studied this actually for one of our exams. First offense 50 rupees, second offense 100 rupees, up to 3 months of jail time. That's horrible.
But like if you mess around with like milk animals, so if it's like affecting production, then
the
you're
punishment is
fined
much higher.
3,000 or something.
Yeah, because that's a money making thing. That's a money making thing.
Somebody really kept their brain here and wrote the laws.
Did they have a brain? I don't think they have a brain in the first place.
Oh my god. Okay, so like on the topic of our indies getting the shittier end of the stick each and every time, let us talk about the recent Delhi case that happened where everyone thought that shoving dogs in vans and locking them up in the shelter was the solution.
The so-called intelligentsia, the so-called intelligent justice system.
The people making our laws.
Exactly, the people making the laws of our country. Illogical, irrational, stupid, idiotic, not thought of at all. Just random. This isn't about the legal system at all. It isn't about the legal rights of animals at all. It is one person's hatred, one person's dislike that has led them to make this ruling and expect the rest of the country to follow. They will not follow. We will fight it out. Because these animals are very much a part of India. Just as you and I are citizens, they too belong to this country. So it's all right to use them when you want them as bomb squad. That's all right. Use and abuse? Is that your bottom line?
Use and throw, basically.
It's a very take.
Exactly.
There's no
Why?
give.
Why? If everything was done in the proper manner, if sterilizations were done properly, vaccination programs were held properly, this problem would not arise. And if people had the proper data, which they don't. So where anti-rabies injections, 5 for every bite. Oh, they're counting them, the whole lot is just so many bites. Where are you coming from? Where have you let your brains? You've left them down a drain.
How many of the bite cases were pet animals versus
Exactly.
strays? All of
Exactly.
those, like-
And how many are just as a precaution?
How many are
How
also
many
vets taking it rather
Exactly.
than normal people?
Exactly. Can anybody do that? Can any one of them give me an answer to this? They can't.
The only solution is like,
Yeah, because
The dogs.
they're voiceless, These poor animals are voiceless. But you know what they haven't bargained for? Today, these animals have a voice. You and me. They have a voice, and we will protect them. Whatever we need to do, we will do. The other day, somebody sent me a post saying that the Prime Minister was praising the feeders in his program Man Ki Baat. We don't need praise. We don't need words.
you
We need deeds. Lead by example. Step up and tell the Supreme Court that what you did was totally unconstitutional.
It's just a position of power and a hatred against animals.
Exactly. Exactly.
And doesn't this ruling go against the policies that are already
It
put?
is.
Yeah.
It does. That's why I'm saying it's unconstitutional. So how can they do this?
How did this affect Pawdopt and the web of people who are actively looking into the welfare of animals?
Honestly, all of us have had very high blood pressure because this is all we've been thinking about and talking about. And we're thinking about all the community animals that we have, that we personally feed and take care of, vaccinate, sterilize. Nikunj does that. He has a friend called Yogesh Mulki who does that, to picking them up and taking them to sterilization. Where is the government? Huh? Are they giving us 1 naya paisa to do this? Are they giving us the facilities to do this? Honest to God, Bombay has the best facility there. The BMC, you call them up, they will do it. They will sterilize and they will put back from where they picked up. Far, far better than any other city.
They also have tie-ups with NGOs, right? Where
Exactly. Like Yoda, WFA and all
even
these things.
at IDA, where
IDA, WSD, they all have this. So they have tie-ups with, and these are the good NGOs.
Okay,
No, we'll not go there.
maybe another episode. Actually, I want to.
Yeah, I can tell you a lot about the bad NGOs also, but let's just. Sometimes they're.
So, in a dystopian world which isn't much further away from our own, if this bill was passed and put into effect, where they picked up animals, put them into shelters, newly built shelters, which they were going to like sprout out of the ground, apparently,
How much would they
what would
spend?
it look like? No, what would the
Tell me, where would they get the funds from?
exactly?
From you and me, by
Right.
taxing us some more. So,
Hmm.
excuse me, rather than give the government, I would rather open my own shelter and
Yeah.
keep it outside. At least it would be a humane place
Yeah.
where the animals are well taken care of in natural surroundings, not kept in cages, left to die.
Like there were just a few videos that came out of those uh, shelters that they built in Delhi, and it was horrible.
Of course,
It
it was
was
horrible.
so bad.
Horrendous.
They were not even shelters.
They were not
like-
shelters.
They
Yeah,
were kill. They were kill zones.
yeah.
They
The
were kill
pounds.
zones.
So, what would if the bill was passed? What would it look like in the
Yeah, what would the reality look like
Yeah.
for?
for strays and for all of
First,
us?
tell me one thing. They say empty the institutions of stray animals. Okay, so fine. You have a college. You have 10 to 12 dogs in different parts,
Yeah,
sunning themselves. They're happy. They're
just chilling.
eating,
Yeah,
chilling. They don't have a care in the world. You pick them up, put them in an environment outside the institution where there may be other dogs.
yeah.
Territorial fights will break out. When territorial fights break out, the dogs become aggressive. And that time, they react differently to even humans.
Yeah.
How do you blame them? You can't blame them. I would say a better thing would be to keep them in the institution, sterilize them,
Sterilizing. Yeah.
vaccinate them regularly, have proper medical checks done at regular intervals.
Yeah.
Then what do you have to worry about?
As well as whenever there's a dog or for that matter any animal which is picked up from its territory, it creates a pocket for new animals.
Yeah.
So it's not going to solve the problem because they're not going to pick up every dog at the same day. So when you pick up a dog from an institution, there's going to be new dogs which will come in there. So it's always better to let them be where they are and cater to them.
Oh no, they have very intelligent ideas. for
It
that.
feels like all of this just sprouted out of nowhere, right? The
Absolutely.
past
I'm
like,
telling
half a
you,
year.
it's one person's hatred
Yeah.
that has manifested itself to a verdict in the Supreme Court, which is so stupid and downright objection.
So, would you say the answer to all of this is just vaccinate your dogs, sterilize them?
Take good care of them.
Yeah.
That's what I feel. I'll give you a small example of a little community in Delhi where in that little block there are about 12 to 14 dogs. Each one of them has a little shelter, house to stay in.
So cute.
Yeah. Different families feed different meals. So one family will give breakfast to all of them. One family will give lunch. One will take care of the homes. The dogs are very happy. They don't go around chasing anybody. They're too content and fulfilled to do anything except enjoy their life. And also, if there is any untoward happening in the middle of the night, they're the first ones to warn you. They're the best security guards you can ever have.
It's like the perfect symbiotic relationship.
And now, on the topic of food and people feeding, what are the responsibility of feeders when it comes to feeding stray animals?
So, feed a nutritious meal. Don't go to a restaurant, pick up biryani and feed the dog. I'm sorry, it doesn't work. Feed a nutritious meal. Feed and clear up. Do not leave plates and all the kachra down there, because that leads to rodents. So maintain the cleanliness and hygiene, and don't just only feed. Vaccinate, sterilize, medicate, and keep an eye on the health of it. What do we have to worry about then? Nothing at all.
Just the laws.
Yeah, just the so-called logical laws.
Just a teeny incident nothing else.
Now, in line of dogs, these are stray animals getting beaten down when they are already in the poor condition, and these so-called lawmakers coming out with the Supreme Court coming out again, being like, they need to be, the stray animals cannot be in certain zones of like
Institutes,
hospitals, institutes. So,
you know what? This whole scenario is all very illogical. Apart from being unconstitutional, it's also very illogical. It's not being thought about at all. It's just one, and they're contradicting themselves at every step.
They're
And
going to end up increasing dog bite cases through this.
Exactly, and they should have called the NGOs for a meeting, asked for solutions. The NGOs are not taking money from them; they're spending money on, to do all this work. If those people had done their work properly, we would not have reached this stage.
Yeah. So, are there any policies in other countries which, if applied here, would have changed the scenario?
Because right now it just feels like we are fumbling around.
Yeah.
Why don't you all look at what is happening in Bhutan? They are so well taken care of. The animals are all sterilized, they're all vaccinated, they're all medicated. I was in Sri Lanka a month and a half back. Being a Buddhist country, they are so much more compassionate. So much more compassionate. They take care of the animals. Why can't we? Sri Lanka is supposed to be a poor country. India is supposedly making headway. Where? Down the drain.
And on this topic, since our audience are usually just students, is there anything what role do you think we should play in contributing or giving back to this web of people?
I would like to say something. Vets are the most misunderstood of all the medical fraternity. People don't think about the agony they go through, their pain, their sorrow. The sorrow is there. They do feel bad every time they lose a patient. I'm sure human doctors do as well. But the vets are connected to them. And they really, really are in a lot of pain and agony. But what I'd like to tell all you children is chin up, broad shoulders, come on, you can do it. Remember, you need to give back to all these animals. And you don't need to be afraid. You can do it, and together we can all do it.
So now we move on to our next segment, which is the Q&A session. We've asked IndievetsPawdopt members if they have any questions for you, and we have a list. So let's go. First question is by Soham, and he's asking, how do we prevent abandonment in the first place, and how do you ensure long-term credibility of pet parents?
So honestly, there are no guarantees in life. But having said that, doing proper checks and making very sure that you tell the doctors that, hey, we're there. We're very much there. Should you have any problems, please reach out to us. And we're there to solve them. If the problem cannot be solved and we need to take the dog back, we want to take it back. Do not abandon the animal. And honestly, we haven't ever had any of that.
So how would you reduce abandonments in general over the long term?
Education. Educating people that if you want to keep an animal, please find out about the breed. Please kind of figure out, work out that can you actually take care of the animal? It's a life from 12 to 15 years minimum.
Yeah.
You need to take care of it.
You're
And
in
if
it
you
for the
can't,
long run.
don't do it. Just don't do it.
So the next question is actually from Rachel over there.
Sitting right there.
So since we are also heavily involved in the adoption process, and so she wants to know, how can we implement your vetting process of the adopters, and how do we implement it in
Our process.
Our process.
So I'll tell you what we do. We have something called the pre-adoption, where we take all details of the adopter. We go check out their homes. We don't tell them we're checking it out, but we do check it. We check out whether there's truth in whatever they've told us. If there is even 1% element of doubt, we don't. We don't. Also, with Nikunj, of course, doing follow-ups, and we have other behaviorists doing follow-ups. On some pretext or the other, somebody is going over.
Okay, to keep check in the house.
To ensure the credibility.
We also have formed a WhatsApp group called Pawdopt.
That's so cute.
That is all the adopters who've adopted dogs from us over the years who want to be a part of Pawdopt. There's some that live in different cities, or some are doctors that don't want, to kind of have their names or like constantly their messages being pinged and all that. Not them, but most of them, yes. And there's a lot of healthy interaction. So that way we keep an eye on the adopters. Most adoptions fail because whenever there's a problem and they reach out to the person who gave them the dog, that person's not available.
They wash their hands off of it.
Absolutely. I gave you the dog, it's your problem. No, it doesn't work like that. We are available 24/7. Call me at any time.
So our next question is by one of our seniors, Kiara. Are there any animals who would not thrive in a home or a new home? And are there any cases where you've considered not putting up the animal for adoption?
Well, there are dogs that have been through terrible trauma. And because of that, they don't trust human beings. So wherever they're rescued and kept, they just trust a few people. There is a lot of hard work that needs to be put into this. I'm not saying they cannot be adopted. They can. But the person adopting them will have to be prepared to put in a lot of hard work. Yeah, maybe nipped a few times. All right. But, okay, but that's the way it is. I mean, of course, if there's a terminally ill animal, I will not get it. It's not fair to the adopter. It's not fair to the animal. So however long he or she has to live, let them live. Is the way I live.
You give it love until the last day.
Exactly.
So if they don't have a home, where are they usually kept?
Foster homes, paid fosters, home fosters. We have people who are really kind and who say, yeah, there is one adopter of ours who has taken in a 9-year-old pug from me with skin issues, with congested chest, and a whole lot of other medical issues. Being treated by Dr. Sangeeta, but she's thrived in the new environment and the new home. And this adopter of ours never once has made me feel that she just has a limited amount of time with me. Her way of looking at it is, whatever time she has with me, I'm going to give her all the love I can.
We need more people like that.
We need more people like that. We need people to clone themselves, honestly.
Maybe in the next 20 years, who knows?
I won't be around, but yeah.
But then if you clone yourself, you would be around.
I don't think I will. I'm not that advanced.
Okay, so our next question is from a very close friend and a very close follower of this podcast, actually.
Yes.
Elbow, I'm talking about you. So he wants to know, what are the challenges faced when introducing a newly adopted pet into a household with already existing animals?
First, the animals need to get along. So we never introduce them in any one animal's place, not their territory. It has to be a neutral territory over a period of time. There are plenty of meet and greet till they become comfortable. We then bring them into the home for a limited amount of time. You go ahead with the rest, the behavior pattern.
And which is mainly supervised by a behaviorist. So initially there is a lot of introduction, the neutral territory for the dog to make sure that the dogs are fitting in, they are cool with it. Then there's a lot of analysis about their behavior, how the dogs are doing in the neutral territory. Followed by we go and we do a lot of awareness first, like we have to put away all the toys, we have to put away the water bowls, anything which the dogs can fight for basically. So once that happens, then the dog is introduced again under the supervision of a behaviorist, and then slowly we soothe the family. So still we are handholding the family to tell them how to manage what if there are quarrels, what if there are fights, what if there are bite incidences, how to introduce water back, how to exercise them, how to manage yourself with them. And then once the family has got a good hand of it, we slowly as a behaviorist wean ourselves and let the dog settle and be them. There's a lot of talking and helping, basically hand holding in this process.
So it's a very active process.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Very much so.
And if these steps are not taken and the owners just force them to get along, how do the animals react?
They will not be dogs that have been adopted from us. We won't allow. We've just given a husky, and they kept telling us that, oh, the previous dog we had is very, very, very possessive. Hey, nothing happened. We introduced them. But what did happen was the husky fell in love with their cat.
Sounds like something a husky would do.
Yeah, they fell in love with their cat.
I mean, they are in the same line of behaviorists. So.
And the cat says, hey, listen, I know how to groom myself. Will you stop licking me? And the husky says, please, I love you so much. And that's what happened. I mean, those are the crazy things that happen.
So for our last question, we have a third, and he's asked us, what is any special requirement or any special criteria you look for in adopters or in homes for special care animals? For animals who need special care, sorry. So disabled animals, maybe really old arthritic animals.
First and foremost, there should be kindness, love, and compassion. If that is there, it's 50% of the battle won. There should be some semblance of medical knowledge. Some. There should be an openness to reach out to a medical representative should there be a problem. That person should be open-minded enough to understand that challenges will keep coming up and should be open to working, should have enough help. It can be a very tiring thing. These are the main things. Everything else gradually falls into place. Unless you want to add something else.
So with that, do you want to add
I was
something?
just going to say we are done with the Q&A session for today.
We're done with the Q&A session, and with that we've reached the end of the podcast. And now to summarize everything that we have yapped about for an hour and 15 minutes now.
I would like to say something to all you students, and that is, once you become vets, don't lose your compassion. Remember, the primary aim to you becoming a vet is service for these animals. So just keep that love and kindness in your heart, and you'll go a long, long way. Honestly.
It is a very long road, so
It may be a very long road.
But don't
But
forget
you
this.
don't forget.
Don't forget this, and you all have this strength.
So to summarize everything that we have said, firstly, don't adopt unless you are willing to be with your animal through sickness, through health, for better, for worse, through thick and thin, till death do you all apart. Yes, it is that dramatic.
Yes, and better than a man. Honestly.
She said what she said.
Yeah.
Also remember, as vet students and as students in any field, or even as young people, it's your job to take care of these animals because they have no voice and because we are the next generation. And without them, the streets will be so boring. Like imagine you walk out out of home and there's no dog around. Like what are you gonna do?
What do you mean?
What are you gonna do? Like, what, you just gonna walk?
Okay. Also, just know that locking up your pet, an animal, is never the solution to anything.
And the dogs on the streets are not the dogs that you should be locking up.
Not at all. Not at all. That's my pet rant, by the way.
Also, now with that, we are going to wrap up. So, to keep up with our socials and to be more well informed with everything that IndievetsPawdopt is doing, don't forget to follow us on our Instagram, which is IndievetsPawdopt_. Don't forget to subscribe on our YouTube, which is IndievetsPawdopt. And don't forget to follow us on Spotify, which is going to be Whispers of the Whiskers.
And if you're watching on YouTube, please don't forget to like,
Share,
and hit that notification button.
Yes, thank you for
Thank you
tuning
so much,
in.
ma'am.
For
Thank you
this
so much,
episode.
Nikunj.
Yes, thank you so much for being there with us. We all had a good time.
Thank you for having us.